Hello Fantasy Faithfuls and welcome to Team Score Projection Season 3, Episode 1, featuring the Dallas Cowboys, and the players I will be focusing on are Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, with a dose of Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Randall Cobb. Since Witten is back, I will toss in a score projection at the end for old time's sake. First off, we need to know how many targets and carries the players will have to share in 2019. To arrive at these numbers, I've analyzed the 2019 opponents' play trends from last 2 years. The Cowboys are playing teams that collectively give up 11th least amount of rushes to opponents and 10th most pass attempts. Combining this with the team's own play trends, and we get 442 rush attempts and 506 passes. By analyzing the Cowboys play calling from last 3 years, they usually target their number one receiver 24% of all targets and their number two guy 16%. I have Michael Gallup as number 2 right now, and I believe he will stay there with Cobb as third due to Hurts' injury. Their number one running back usually has a 66% share of all carries, with 14% going to the quarterback since Dak Prescott took over.
No help. Prescott gonna carry. And reach, flip, sets up first and goal.
Before we can analyze anyone else, we need to look at Prescott and his 506 pass attempts and 64 carries. Dak Prescott has, when it comes to passing patterns, almost exactly what you want to see. He has more passes to the short left and more to the deep right. The deep middle is actually better than the deep right, but still 2 out of 3 top zones when it comes to fantasy points, as your most targeted is great. He's fairly accurate on these types of throws as well, at least above league average, but it is over the middle where he actually shines the most. This is not the best, as he rarely throws there. Furthermore, he has some fantastic numbers when he throws deep, so I wish that he did that a bit more, while the short throws are really underwhelming, being below league average in all but the short right zone. He also throws slightly less touchdowns than the league average, with a 4.3 touchdown rate, and is sacked 4th most in the league at 11.4% of his dropbacks. Without Amari Cooper on the team, Dak Prescott averaged 15.7 points per game, and with Amari Cooper, 19.3 points. His one-game floor, the least amount of points you should expect from him on any given week, is 10, while you should assume that he won't give you more than 25 on a good week. From his own passing, the pass catcher's abilities, his rushing trends, and the opponents, we arrive at his score projection. Prescott will score 168 points from his passing, 26 from his rushing, 126 from touchdowns, and 304 in total.
It's Elliott! Elliott for the touchdown! No flags! Cowboys lead!
Next up is Ezekiel Elliott with 290 carries and 85 targets. Elliott's rushing patterns shows just how versatile he is. He has no running lane with less than a double-digit share of his carries. This is incredible and shows just how difficult it is to scheme against him. He will carry the ball everywhere at any time. And there's almost nothing showing us why he shouldn't carry the ball everywhere. There is no weakness in his production. All lanes have over league average yards per carry. You might want more carries outside the right guard, Zach Martin, but then again, he already has 11% there. I just love all of his versatility and all in all greatness. Ezekiel Elliott has traditionally performed better against the NFC than the AFC, and last year was no difference. It was huge. 5.1 yards per carry against NFC and 3.9 against the AFC. His touchdown rate last year was one of the worst in the league at 1.9%. I don't expect this to stay the same, so for his prediction, I've averaged this out with his 2017 numbers. Looking at his receiving, we see that he's a very good pass catcher, hauling in more than 4 out of 5 targets thrown in the short zones, which is fantastic. 10.5 yards per catch to the short right, however, this went down from 13.5 last year. His floor places him as the second highest ranked running back behind Saquon Barkley with 9.8, and his ceiling makes him the 4th highest ranked guy. Overall, you can always count on him, and he scores like a quarterback on a good day. From his own rushing, receiving, the team's blocking abilities, Prescott's passing trends, and opponents in 2019, I predict Elliott to score 135 points from carries, 45 from the passing game, 72 from all touchdowns, and 252 in total. I would like to take a second to remind you to hit that like button, leave a comment what you think about this video, and subscribe to the channel. I love every interaction I have with y'all, and every little bit helps me put out even more content. As Allen Hurns is on IR and Cole Beasley is gone, I decided to only look at 3 pass catchers: Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Randall Cobb. From the Cowboys market share, Cooper will see 122 targets, Gallup 82, and Cobb 62. Cooper will only catch 84, 9 more than last year, while Gallup and Cobb will catch 51 and 45. That is a 54% increase in receptions for Gallup compared to last year, and I expect him to be good in DFS. From the catches, Cooper will gain 136 yards, not a lot more than last year, but a small increase. Gallup 582, which is not a lot more. I expect the targets to be less deep shots and more shorter throws as he develops. Cobb will be decent, but not a huge contributor. I predict their touchdowns as follows: 7, 3, and 3, with Witten stealing a few passing touchdowns and Elliott punching in a lot more than last year.
Dallas spreads them out a bit. They fake the run. The pass is caught. Cooper off to the races for the touchdown.
Lastly, a final look at their score projections for 2019 and where it would have placed them in 2018. Dak Prescott, with a #1 receiver for the entire year, would have finished 8th last year for my prediction. Elliott still would have finished 5th, but I think with some other running backs having historical years, Elliott will go up next year. Cooper is very interesting. I do expect him to have more receptions, even if the yards won't be there. He would have finished 15 last year with my projection. If he can finish 15 next year, I would say it's been a good year for him. Overall, the Cowboys will have a lot to do with the fantasy season. They have 3 players that are big names with a couple of names that will impact DFS. I'm more excited to draft Dak this year than I was last, and if he falls to, let's say, rounds 14-15, I will make that pick. Thank you all so much for watching the first score projection video of 2019, and new for this year is the snapshot bundle that will drop later on this month. Over 50 videos will drop in May, so be sure to head to csdfantasy.com to pick up your password, and I'll see y'all next week. Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.